The Silver Box, a gateway to horror.
In the heart of the city, there was an old museum that was famous for its ancient artifacts and mysterious exhibits. The museum was home to some of the rarest and most valuable artifacts in the world, and it was said that each item had a story to tell. One day, a young couple visited the museum to see the exhibits. As they walked through the halls, they noticed a strange artifact that was hidden in a dark corner. The artifact was a small, silver box, and it had an intricate design etched onto its surface. The couple approached the box, and as they got closer, they could feel a strange energy emanating from it. Suddenly, the box opened on its own, and a bright light shone from within. The couple was drawn to the light, and they couldn't resist the urge to touch it. As soon as they touched the light, they were transported to another world. It was a dark and twisted world where the sky was blood red and the air was filled with the stench of death. The couple found themselves in the middle of a dark forest, and they could hear the sound of screams in the distance. As they walked through the forest, they stumbled upon a group of people who were gathered around a fire. The people looked at them with suspicion and fear, and they could see that they were not human. The creatures had black eyes and sharp teeth, and their skin was gray and mottled. The couple tried to leave, but they were trapped. The creatures surrounded them, and they could feel their hot breath on their necks. Suddenly, the creatures attacked them, tearing them apart limb by limb. Their screams echoed throughout the forest, but nobody heard them. Days turned into weeks, and the couple was never seen again. The museum remained open, and the artifact was still on display, but nobody approached it. The silver box remained untouched, waiting for its next victim to come and touch the light. Years later, a group of scientists discovered the artifact and decided to study it. They were amazed by its power, but they didn't know the danger it posed. As soon as they touched the light, they were transported to the same dark world where they met the same gruesome fate. The museum closed down, and the artifact was sealed away, never to be touched again. But the legend of the silver box lives on, and people tell stories of the dark world that it leads to. The museum remains empty, but the silver box still sits there, waiting for someone to touch the light and enter the dark world once again. Years passed, and the silver box remained in the museum's vaults, gathering dust and secrets. But despite being forgotten by most people, its energy and potential danger only grew stronger. Rumors and legends about the box began to spread, reaching even the most remote corners of the world, attracting the attention of all kinds of people. One day, a group of thrill-seekers and adventurers heard about the silver box and decided to sneak into the museum at night to see it. They had heard that whoever touched the light in the box would be transported to a dark world filled with unimaginable horrors, but they didn't believe in such stories. For them, it was just another urban legend to exploit and explore. As they made their way into the museum, they noticed that something was different. The air was thicker, and there was a strange feeling of anticipation that filled the halls. They made their way to the exhibit room where the silver box was kept and saw it for the first time. It was even more beautiful and mysterious than they had imagined, and the light that came from it was almost hypnotizing. Without hesitation, one of the thrill-seekers reached out to touch the light, and as soon as he did, a bright flash of light engulfed the room. When the light faded, the thrill-seekers found themselves transported to the dark world that the stories had talked about. It was a world of pain and horror, where the sky was always red and the ground was made of bones. They found themselves surrounded by creatures that were beyond their worst nightmares. The creatures were different from the ones that the previous couple had encountered. These were more violent and bloodthirsty, and they seemed to be more intelligent too. They immediately realized that they had made a grave mistake. The thrill-seekers tried to run, but the creatures were too fast and too strong. They were soon captured, and their screams echoed throughout the dark world. The creatures had no mercy, and they didn't stop until every single one of the thrill-seekers was dead. Weeks passed, and nobody heard from the thrill-seekers. Their disappearance was attributed to some criminal activity or some other dangerous adventure that they had gone on. The silver box remained in the museum, but it was moved to a more secure vault, far away from prying eyes.